Hello MennoNerds, this is Micael and I want to talk about the Pancake Church. Every weekend, me and some friends, we go out here on the streets of Uppsala and we hand out free pancakes to people. We share the gospel with them and pray for them, and we both engage in apologetical discussions as well as more pastoral dialogues with people. We hand out free Bibles and tracts explaining the gospel and so on. And I've been doing this for 6 years and I love it. When I started to do it, I was a bit afraid. I had a lot of evangelismophobia. But then over the years, of course, and quite quickly actually, grown more comfortable in sharing with my faith, which also has equipped me to do it in other settings when I'm alone. And I think this is important to realize. There is a myth, I think, at least here in Sweden, that public evangelism doesn't work and street evangelism isn't effective. We should do relational evangelism instead, sharing the gospel with our friends and family and colleagues and so on. That's not true. We do see that public evangelism and street evangelism is very effective when it is done in love and with care for people and so on. Of course, that's what the Bible says. 1 Peter 3:15 says that when we share the gospel and explain our faith, which we should always be prepared to do, we should of course do that with respect and humility. One of the churches here in Sweden, the Evangelical Free Church, that really grew out of evangelism. They trained hundreds of evangelists in the early 20th century. But then over the years, they trained less and less evangelists. Now, these evangelists, they did all kinds of things. They went out to the villages, they gathered people, they preached the gospel, they had revival meetings, and it was really effective. This Evangelical Free Church really exploded thanks to that. But as mentioned, they trained less and less evangelists during the 20th century, so that nowadays they don't train any evangelists at all. They train some pastors and youth leaders, but no evangelists. And so hardly any church do street evangelism. So I've read one sort of explanation by one of their theologians last year when I did a study on this. And he said, yeah, this proves that street evangelism doesn't work. It's not effective, and instead we should do more relational evangelism, or adult evangelism, as he called it. And then, after reading that, I talked to one of the last evangelists that had been trained in this church. And he said, street evangelism is amazing. There were so many people that were healed and saved when I was proclaiming the gospel. And I was like, did you proclaim them on the streets? Yeah, I proclaim it everywhere. I was in the streets, in the parks, on pubs, everywhere. And it was really effective. So it seems to me that this idea that, yeah, public evangelism doesn't work is a myth that Christians invent when they will argue why they shouldn't do this. And it's a myth that isn't, present anywhere else from what I can see. If I just look at my society, politicians, political parties, businesses, they all invest a lot in public communication, on the streets, in the media, everywhere. They really want to be visible. Whereas the church suddenly has this idea, that doesn't work. And that's a lie. That's something that we make up without actually checking. When I joined the Pancake Church, I really see how people are receiving the gospel easily when you express it in love. And I definitely think that's the way forward. Thank you for watching and God bless you.